Dating a Sigma male is far from traditional romantic ideal. It's not a fairy tale filled with candlelit dinners, sweet nothings, or predictable gestures. Instead, it's a psychological battlefield cloaked in the illusion of a love story. When a Sigma male falls in love, the experience isn't tender or sentimental. It's more like a controlled wildfire, burning with intensity, but carefully managed, calculated, and never fully within reach. These men make up less than 2% of the population, and even among them, only a rare few allow another person to breach the walls of their inner world. That's because, for a Sigma male, relationships aren't about emotional dependence or seeking comfort. They are about preserving mental autonomy and aligning energies in a way that feels authentic and essential to their personal survival. Engaging with a Sigma male on this level isn't a lighthearted romantic comedy. It's a psychological thriller. You're either a vital co-star in this complex narrative, or you're quickly removed from the storyline. There is no in-between. When a Sigma male opens up, he's not just expressing feelings. He's allowing someone into a fortress he spent a lifetime constructing. This journey isn't about hearing declarations of love. It's about observing the rare and powerful actions that show you've been led into a world that most never even glimpse. Buckle up. This kind of love doesn't come with a script, and it certainly doesn't play by the rules. 1. He doesn't open up. He makes you earn access like a vaulted archive. When it comes to emotional expression, a Sigma male operates on a completely different frequency. He doesn't casually open up or share his feelings on command. There are no movie-like confessions over candlelit dinners, no emotional breakdowns that lead to heartfelt bonding moments, and certainly no dramatic monologues about his past traumas. His inner world is more like a highly secured archive, locked away behind emotional steel doors with no visible keyhole. Simply showing up or being present in his life doesn't grant you access. You have to prove you're worthy. A Sigma male is always observing before revealing. He tests your emotional intelligence quietly, subtly. He watches how you react under pressure, how you handle your own emotions, and whether you can sit with discomfort without trying to control or fix it. Rather than explaining himself verbally, he communicates through patterns, small shift in behavior, increased consistency, or a rare, lingering look that says more than any words could. These are the breadcrumbs of vulnerability he drops when he feels safe. Trying to force him to open up, whether through guilt tripping, repeated questioning, or emotional pressure, will only backfire. It doesn't drive him closer. It drives him away, not because he lacks feelings, but because that behavior signals to him that you don't understand his process. Vulnerability for a Sigma male isn't about emotional dumping. It's about carefully calculated revelation. He reveals parts of himself only when he senses a foundation is strong, when he knows you won't try to interpret his pain as something to fix or manipulate. So if he begins to open up, even in small ways, take it seriously. You're not merely getting to know a man. You're being invited into an inner sanctum that most will never even know exists. For a Sigma male, this is not a casual gesture. It's a profound act of trust. 2, he studies you like a case file. When a Sigma male becomes interested in someone, he doesn't simply engage in light conversation or try to charm his way into your life. He approaches relationships with the precision of a seasoned analyst, studying you as though you were a case file. While others may be distracted by surface-level attraction or impressing you with compliments, the Sigma male operates in quiet, calculated observation. He pays attention to the smallest details, those fleeting micro-expressions that flash across your face when you're uncomfortable or not telling the whole truth. He listens carefully to how you speak, picking up on changes in tone or inconsistencies in your stories that others might overlook. More than that, he reads your energy, subtle shifts in your emotional presence that tell him when you're holding back, hiding something, or trying to manipulate the narrative. This intense level of analysis isn't rooted in paranoia, but in principle. To a Sigma male, loyalty isn't something given freely. It must be earned. And before he invests in someone emotionally, he needs to ensure that the connection is grounded in honesty and authenticity. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for consistency and alignment with his own values. What makes this process even more fascinating is that you won't even realize it's happening. He won't ask invasive questions or pry into your past. He won't confront you or press you for explanations. He simply watches, waiting for you to reveal who you are when you think no one's paying attention. If he detects signs of manipulation, emotional instability, or dishonesty, he won't start a fight or initiate a dramatic exit. He'll just quietly pull away and disappear from your life, leaving you wondering what happened. But if you show up with authenticity, emotional stability, and genuine presence, he'll begin to unlock aspects of himself that most people will never witness. With a Sigma male, trust is the ultimate currency, and once you earn it, you gain access to profoundly rare level of intimacy. 3. His loyalty is ruthless. Betrayal means erasure. When a Sigma male offers you his loyalty, it isn't a casual gesture or a fleeting emotional commitment. It's a silent, unspoken oath forged through careful observation and grounded in a deeply personal code of honor. By the time he pledges his allegiance to you, he has already studied your character, tested your integrity, and decided that you are worthy of being let into his inner world. His loyalty is unwavering, quiet, and fierce. He will stand beside you when others walk away. He will defend you in conversations you'll never hear. He will grant you access to parts of himself that he keeps hidden from nearly everyone else. But that same loyalty comes with a brutal edge, because once given, it demands equal weight in return. His loyalty is absolute, but it is also ruthless. There are no second chances. If you lie, cheat, manipulate, or violate his trust, there will be no dramatic confrontation. You won't get a final conversation, a teary apology, or a drawn-out argument. You'll simply be erased. Not shamed, not punished, just gone. Like a page torn cleanly from a book, as if you were never there at all. There will be no closure, either. A Sigma male doesn't engage in emotional theatrics or seek validation through conflict. He won't rant about you online, vent to friends, or try to make you feel guilty. He will vanish in silence, and that silence will speak louder than anything he could say. To him, betrayal is not a wound. It is a disqualification. His loyalty is not built on fleeting emotions or sentimentality. It is rooted in trust, discipline, and an unwavering personal standard. And once that standard is broken, there is no pathway back. Betray a Sigma male, and not only do you lose his presence, you risk being erased from his life so completely that even your memory holds no place in his world. For he treats love like a mission, not a mood. To a Sigma male, love is not a whimsical feeling or an emotional high. It's a mission, a strategic and purposeful alliance. He doesn't pursue romantic relationships for the fleeting warmth of infatuation or the comfort of emotional dependency. Instead, he engages in love when he sees real, long-term potential, when the connection aligns with his values, vision, and inner code. For him, love isn't an escape from reality. It's a high-stakes partnership grounded in truth and resilience. Rather than testing you with grand romantic gestures or flowery words, he evaluates your strength through silence, pressure, and real-world chaos. He wants to know how you respond when things aren't ideal, when he's distant because he's focused on his work, when life becomes stressful, or when emotional intensity spikes. Can you remain centered without demanding constant reassurance? Can you hold your ground without crumbling? Can you challenge him intellectually and emotionally without trying to dominate or control him? These unspoken tests are crucial because a Sigma male lives in reality, not fantasy. If you rely on constant validation, can't handle tension, or react emotionally to his independence, he will quietly begin to withdraw. This isn't because he lacks emotion. It's because he requires a partner who can withstand the same intensity of life he embraces. He's not interested in surface-level romance. He's building something deep, raw, and resilient. For a Sigma male, love is built through friction and forged in fire. If you can't handle that fire, you'll feel like a burden or an obstacle to his path. But if you can meet his intensity, challenge it without threatening his autonomy, and grow alongside it without fear, you won't just be in a relationship. You'll become part of a rare and powerful bond that very few will ever experience. 5. His romance is intellectual, not sentimental. When it comes to romance, a Sigma male doesn't follow the script of traditional affection. You won't find him showering you with heart emojis, planning over-the-top dates for the sake of appearances, or engaging in grand romantic gestures that feel performative. He simply doesn't operate that way. His approach to love is rooted in the mind, not in sentimental theatrics. For a Sigma male, True romance lies in the details, the mental breadcrumbs he collects over time. Instead of surprising you with roses, he'll bring up a comment you made in passing 6 months ago, proving not just that he listens, but that he stores your words like valuable insights. He's constantly analyzing, observing, and remembering, not out of obligation, but because he's genuinely fascinated by how your mind works. His idea of a meaningful date isn't dinner by candlelight. It's a conversation that challenges your worldview. He'll question your assumptions, nudge you to think more deeply, and push your intellectual boundaries. This is his form of intimacy. He doesn't want to just stir your emotions. He wants to awaken your mind. Even his flirting is cerebral. It might come in the form of a late-night article he stumbled upon, something obscure and thought-provoking, sent with a simple message. This made me think of you. To some, this might seem distant or emotionally cool, but to him, it's one of the most vulnerable forms of connection he can offer. He's not interested in superficial bonding. He wants to engage with the very core of who you are. If you expect love to show up in predictable ways, constant compliments, romantic cliches, or obvious displays of affection, you might miss the quiet signals he sends. But if you're someone who values mental stimulation, depth, and emotional authenticity, you'll start to see that his version of love is unlike anything you've known. It's not just romance. It's a kind of evolution, disguised as affection, that transforms the way you think, feel, and connect. 6. He won't protect you until you prove you can protect yourself. A Sigma male doesn't play the role of the traditional white knight. He won't swoop in to save you from your own emotional chaos or shield you from every difficulty that comes your way. Instead, he stands back and observes how you handle your own struggles. He needs to see how you respond to adversity, how you navigate conflict, and whether you take accountability for your life. If you consistently act helpless, seek pity, or rely on emotional volatility to gain attention or control, he will quietly distance himself. Not because he lacks compassion, but because he views such behavior as emotionally draining and unsustainable. To him, dependency is not a cry for help. It's a red flag. However, everything changes when you demonstrate self-sufficiency. When you prove that you can stand on your own, fight your own battles, and maintain your emotional equilibrium, the Sigma male takes notice. This is when his protective instincts are awakened, not out of obligation, but out of deep respect. He doesn't protect to dominate or to feel needed. He protects as an act of honor, because you've shown that you don't need him, but rather deserve his presence and strength. When he decides to protect you, it's not loud or boastful. It's silent, subtle, and deeply powerful. He becomes like a fortress at your back, removing obstacles before you even see them, shielding you from harm without making a show of it. He won't interfere with your independence, but you'll know, unmistakably, that he's there, always alert, always watching, always ready. To a Sigma male, protection is not something given freely or in response to pleas. It is earned through resilience, strength, and personal accountability. In his eyes, the only woman worth protecting is the one who never asked for it, but through her strength and self-mastery, proved she was worthy of it. 7. He upgrades your life, but you won't notice until he's gone. A Sigma male doesn't set out to change you. He does it quietly, without announcement, without pushing. He doesn't lecture, give advice unsolicited, or dictate what you should be doing. Instead, his very presence becomes a catalyst for transformation. Just by being around him, your standards begin to rise. His mindset, sharp, focused, unapologetically intentional, starts to influence your own. His intolerance for mediocrity makes you question your own complacency, nudging you, without words, to elevate your habits, your thoughts, your ambitions. Over time, this silent influence begins to rewire the way you see the world and yourself. It happens gradually, almost invisibly. One day you find yourself outgrowing the people you once admired. They now seem superficial, directionless. The goals you used to chase begin to feel small, like outdated versions of dreams you've since outgrown. You start to think bigger, act with more clarity, and carry yourself with a new sense of purpose. You've upgraded, internally and externally. But here's the paradox. The full weight of his impact often doesn't register until he's gone. When the Sigma male exits your life, he takes with him not just his presence, but also the invisible framework that helps shape the best version of you. You don't just miss him, you miss who you were when you were around him. The mental clarity, the heightened self-awareness, the ambition he inspired. It lingers like an echo, and that's the cruel twist. You don't always see how deeply he changed your life until a version of yourself that he awakened begins to fade in his absence. 8. He doesn't want to be needed. He wants to be respected. To a Sigma male, neediness is not just unattractive, it's repelling. He is wired for independence, and he expects the same from those he allows into his inner world. When someone becomes emotionally clingy, constantly seeking validation or reassurance, he doesn't interpret it as love. He sees it as emotional dependence, and it quickly pushes him away. The more someone tries to wrap themselves around him for comfort or attention, the faster he detaches. He isn't moved by desperation. He's grounded by autonomy. What he truly craves is not to be needed, but to be respected, and not just for what he can do or give, but for who he is at his core. He wants respect for his boundaries, those invisible lines he draws to protect his peace, for his discipline, the way he chooses solitude, focus, and self-mastery over distraction, for his refusal to engage in emotional manipulation or drama. These are the foundations of his identity, and he holds them sacred. If you can stand strong during his silences without feeling threatened, if you can admire the depth of his thinking without trying to invade or control it, you will begin to earn something rare from him: unshakable loyalty. He doesn't give this freely. It is reserved for those who understand that love doesn't mean enmeshment. It means mutual strength, respect, and shared direction. For the Sigma male, love is not about losing yourself in someone else's chaos. It's about two whole individuals, each self-aware, self-sufficient, and grounded, choosing to walk side by side. No one is leaning. No one is clinging. It's not about being rescued or rescuing. It's about walking together in power, with clarity, and with quiet, enduring respect. 9. He'll end the relationship before he dilutes his mission. For a Sigma male, his mission in life is sacred, non-negotiable, untouchable, and central to his identity. It isn't just a goal or career. It's a driving force that gives his existence meaning and structure. Everything he does, from his daily routines to his long-term decisions, is aligned with that mission. And when it comes to relationships, they are only sustainable if they harmonize with this overarching purpose. If a relationship begins to interfere with his focus, if it creates emotional chaos, consumes too much of his mental bandwidth, or pulls him away from his vision, he will end it without hesitation. It doesn't matter how much affection there is, how deep the emotional bond, or how loving and devoted the other person may be. If being with someone means compromising the mission he's committed his life to, the relationship becomes expendable. There will be no dramatic farewell, no guilt-ridden deliberation, and no drawn-out goodbye. A Sigma male operates from a place of clarity and discipline. When he sees that something is derailing him from his path, he lets it go, swiftly, cleanly, without second-guessing. His loyalty is not first and foremost to a partner. It's to his vision, his growth, and the legacy he's working to create. He values connection, yes, but only when it reinforces rather than diminishes his purpose. Any relationship that threatens to dilute that purpose, no matter how emotionally fulfilling it might seem, will be left behind. Because in the world of the Sigma male, love is a companion to purpose, not a competitor. 10. He's attracted to your intellect first, your energy second, looks last. When it comes to attraction, the Sigma male moves in reverse compared to what most expect. Physical appearance isn't what captures his attention. It's what lingers in the background, secondary at best. His true interest is sparked by intellect. The first thing he's scanning for is mental compatibility. Can you challenge him? Can you keep up with his thought process? Or even better, introduce new perspectives that make him pause and rethink his own? He craves stimulating conversation, depth, and the ability to engage on intellectual levels that most overlook. If your mind doesn't engage him, the rest doesn't matter. Once your intellect catches his attention, he shifts to your energy. How do you carry yourself? Are you ambitious, grounded, and unapologetically yourself? Do you walk into a room with quiet confidence, or do you constantly seek validation from others? He's magnetized by women who possess inner power, Those who don't need to chase attention because they already know their worth. Your energy tells them whether you're self-possessed or externally driven, whether you operate from strength or insecurity. Only after your mind and energy passes internal filters does he take note of your physical appearance. And even then, it's not a deciding factor. Beauty to him is background noise. It's fleeting and easily found, while true substance is rare. If you're intellectually stagnant, emotionally dependent, or shallow, no amount of beauty will keep him invested. His attraction isn't skin deep. It's soul deep, mind deep, and built on a kind of foundation that outlasts fleeting aesthetics. To earn a Sigma male's lasting attention, you don't need to look perfect. You need to think powerfully and exist intentionally. That's what truly captivates him. Conclusion: the Sigma's love is earned, not given. A Sigma male's love is unlike anything traditional or easily defined. It isn't warm and fuzzy, nor is it built on cliches or emotional theatrics. It's forged through depth, discipline, and a relentless commitment to truth and growth. His love isn't about becoming one with someone or getting lost in emotional entanglement. It's about mutual elevation. Two individuals standing strong on their own, choosing to rise higher together. If you're fortunate enough to be chosen by a Sigma male, understand what that truly means. You haven't just entered a relationship. You've stepped into the orbit of a force of nature. He is intense, introspective, and intentional. Every move he makes is calculated. Every emotion he shares is earned, and every connection he allows is deeply vetted. His silence should never be mistaken for indifference. It's a reflection of his inner depth. His moments of withdrawal are not rejection. They are his way of recalibrating, observing, and staying aligned with his path. And if, for whatever reason, your journey with him comes to an end, the void he leaves behind won't just be about missing him. You'll miss you, or more specifically, the elevated, sharpened, more focused version of yourself that only existed in his presence. That's the unspoken power of a Sigma male's love. It doesn't just comfort, it transforms. It pulls you into a higher state of being, sometimes without you even realizing it. This kind of love doesn't come easy. It's not given freely or sustained by fleeting emotion. It lasts because it's built on strength, intention, and above all, because it's earned. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.